Welcome to Meta with your host, Dr. Elhanan Gazit, your ultimate destination for leaders and creators. Here, we share some of the best metaverse, gaming, and digital innovation news, stories, and insights. Think fast, level up smart. Game on.
Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today, we're going to be exploring the world of immersive experiences. We're talking everything from virtual reality to augmented reality and how these technologies are changing the way we work, learn, and play. We're really excited to be joined by, we have the work of Dr. Elhanan Gazit, a real thought leader in this space, and we're going to be taking a close look at his 10 pillars of immersive experience design. I think one of the things that's really interesting here is how Dr. Gazit connects immersive experiences with the gamer's mindset, suggesting that understanding the rules of the digital world can actually lead to real-world success. So buckle up, get ready to level up your thinking, and let's dive in.
Yeah, you really hit the nail on the head there. What's fascinating about Dr. Gazit's work is how he takes this concept of a gamer's mindset, and he really applies it to anyone, entrepreneurs, parents, you name it. He argues that once you understand the rules of the game, you can start to lead and excel in any field.
So it's not just about, sitting in your basement playing video games all day. It's about applying those problem-solving skills, that adaptability, that strategic thinking to real-life challenges.
Exactly. And this is where his 10 pillars of immersive experience design really come in. These pillars are essentially a framework for creating truly engaging and impactful experiences. Whether you're designing a virtual reality training program or a marketing campaign using augmented reality.
That's super intriguing. But before we jump into the pillars, maybe just a quick level set for anyone listening who might not be as familiar. Can you give us a quick breakdown of what we mean when we say AR, VR, all these other immersive technologies?
Sure. So think of AR or augmented reality as adding digital elements to the real world. Like when you use a filter on social media to try on a new hairstyle. That's like basic AR. VR, or virtual reality, on the other hand, completely immerses you in a digital environment. You put on a headset and suddenly you're exploring a coral reef or walking on the moon.
Oh, okay. So AR is like digital add-ons to your reality. And VR is like stepping into a whole new reality.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. And then there's XR, extended reality, which is kind of the umbrella term for all these immersive technologies. It encompasses AR, VR, everything in between, including spatial computing, which is becoming more and more important.
Spatial computing, that one always sounds a little sci-fi to me. What exactly does that mean?
Think of spatial computing as the bridge between the real and digital worlds, where you can interact with holograms and manipulate virtual objects like they're part of your space. It's like stepping into a sci-fi movie.
Okay, I'm starting to get the picture. So we've got all these incredible technologies that can create these immersive experiences. And Dr. Gazit argues that we can learn from gamers and apply their mindset to create even more impactful experiences.
Exactly, and that's where his 10 pillars come in. Each pillar focuses on a specific aspect of immersive experience design, drawing inspiration from the way gamers think and interact with the digital world.
Awesome. Well, let's dive into those pillars then. The first one is bend time and space, which sounds incredibly intriguing.
Yeah, this pillar is all about playing with our perceptions of time and space, something that immersive technologies let us do in some pretty fascinating ways. One really powerful example is the VR film Dear Angelica by Oculus Story Studio.
Oh, I've heard of that one. Isn't that a really emotional experience?
It is. Dear Angelica puts you inside a world made of memories, and the narrative doesn't flow in a straight line. You kind of jump between moments of time, creating a really deeply personal and immersive experience.
Wow, that sounds incredible. It makes me think, wouldn't someone with a gamer's mindset excel at designing an experience like that? They're already used to navigating complex worlds and kind of manipulating time within games.
That's a great point. A gamer's mindset would definitely be an asset in this kind of design. And it's not just about entertainment either. Think about the potential applications in education. Imagine students experiencing historical events firsthand in VR, feeling what it was like to be there.
Oh, that would completely change how we learn. Okay, on to pillar number 2, create presence. I'm guessing this is all about making people feel truly immersed in the experience.
Exactly. It's about designing every element of the experience to enhance that feeling of truly being there. Whether it's through stunning visuals, realistic sound effects, or intuitive interactions. A great example of this is Accenture's use of VR for employee training.
VR for training, that's interesting. I could see how that would be more engaging than just reading a manual or something.
Absolutely. So instead of just reading about their new workplace, Accenture's new hires can put on a VR headset and experience it firsthand. They can walk through the office, meet their colleagues virtually, and even practice work tasks before their first day.
So it's about creating a sense of familiarity and comfort, reducing those first-day jitters, and allowing people to learn by doing. It seems like VR could really improve that onboarding experience and make employees feel more connected from day one. That's a game changer for company culture.
I couldn't agree more. And this principle of creating presence applies to so many other areas too, from healthcare to therapy. Imagine a virtual environment that helps people overcome phobias or practice social skills in a safe and controlled setting.
The possibilities are really endless. All right, what's next on our list of pillars?
Pillar number 3 is empower users and places. This one's all about giving people agency within the experience, allowing them to make choices and shape their journey. A fantastic example is Walmart's VR training program for Black Friday.
Black Friday in VR, that sounds intense.
It is. Imagine the chaos of Black Friday, but in a safe virtual environment where employees can practice handling crowds, dealing with customer questions, resolving issues, without any real-world consequences.
That's brilliant. I can only imagine how much more effective that is than traditional training methods. But isn't there a risk of it feeling overwhelming? I mean, Black Friday is already a sensory overload in real life.
Yeah, that's a valid concern, and it highlights the importance of careful design. While the goal is to create a realistic simulation, it's also crucial to ensure that the experience is manageable and doesn't create unnecessary anxiety. It's about finding that balance between challenge and support.
I see. It's about empowering people to learn and grow, but also making sure they feel safe and supported within the experience. Okay, on to pillar number 4. Transform size and scale. Does this mean we're going to be shrinking ourselves down to the size of ants or becoming giants?
It could involve that. This pillar is all about playing with our perceptions of size and scale, which can create some truly mind-bending experiences. A great example is the Gillette Stadium Takeover XR campaign.
Wait, Gillette, like the razors. What do they do at a football stadium?
They used mixed reality to transform the entire stadium during a Monday night football game. Picture this, a giant holographic razor appearing on the field. It was a spectacle that really demonstrated the wow factor of altering scale.
Okay, that's pretty epic. But beyond big marketing stunts like that, how else can you use this principle of transforming size and scale to create really meaningful experiences?
Think about educational experiences where you could explore the human body from the inside, shrinking yourself down to see how cells work, or imagine zooming out to view the entire solar system, getting a sense of the vastness of space. There's also a really amazing educational VR experience called the Body VR that takes you on this journey inside a human cell. By altering the scale, users can actually see and interact with cells and biological processes in a way that's just impossible in real life.
It's like gaining a superpower to manipulate perspective. That's amazing. So it's not just about creating cool visuals. It's about using those visuals to deepen our understanding of the world around us, whether it's the human body or the vastness of space. All right, I'm ready for pillar number 5. What do we have next?
Pillar number 5 is shift vision, perspective play. It's all about challenging our usual ways of seeing things and offering new perspectives. Imagine seeing the world from a bird's eye view, or from the perspective of an ant, or even experiencing the world through the eyes of another person.
That last one is really interesting. I can see how that would be incredibly powerful for building empathy and understanding.
Exactly, and a great example of this is Kellogg's. They've actually used VR for market research. By shifting the perspective to observe consumer behavior in a virtual store, they can gain valuable insights into how people interact with their products.
So instead of relying on surveys or focus groups, they're actually observing people's behavior in this simulated environment. That seems like it would provide much richer data. But what about the ethical implications of that? I mean, are people aware they're being observed in this virtual space?
That's a crucial question. Ethics are absolutely paramount in any immersive experience, especially when it comes to data privacy and user consent. Transparency is key. Participants need to be fully informed about how their data will be used and given the opportunity to opt out if they have any concerns.
That makes sense. It's important to remember that even though these are virtual experiences, they still have real-world implications.
Absolutely. And that kind of brings us back to the importance of the gamer's mindset. Gamers are used to navigating these complex systems and making ethical decisions within games. And those same skills are essential when designing and implementing immersive experiences in the real world.
Right. So understanding the rules of the game, so to speak, can help us make those responsible and ethical choices when it comes to these immersive technologies. This has been fascinating so far. We've covered bending time and space, creating presence, empowering users, transforming scale, and shifting perspectives. And we've only just scratched the surface of Dr. Gazet's 10 pillars. What stands out to you from what we've discussed so far?
I think what really strikes me is how these pillars are not just about creating cool tech demos. They're about addressing fundamental human needs and desires, our curiosity, our need for connection, our drive to learn and explore.
That's a great point. It's not just about the technology itself. It's about how we use that technology to create meaningful and engaging experiences that resonate with people on a deeper level.
Exactly. And that's what makes this field so exciting. There's just so much potential to create experiences that are not only entertaining, but also educational, therapeutic, and even transformative. But before we dive into the remaining pillars, let's take a quick break. We'll be back in a flash to explore the next 5 pillars, and trust me, you won't want to miss it. So we left off talking about the first 5 pillars of immersive design.
And I'm ready to dive back in and see what other insights Dr. Gazet has to offer.
Great. So next up, we have pillar number 6, inspire movement, dynamic motion. This one's all about recognizing that immersive experiences shouldn't just be about passive observation. It's about encouraging users to actively participate, to move and interact within the digital world.
Okay, so it's not enough to just see a virtual world. You have to be able to move through it, interact with it, really experience it.
Exactly. And a really good example of this is the VR fitness platform Supernatural. Instead of, working out in your living room and staring at a screen, Supernatural actually transports you to these incredible locations. You could be boxing on a mountaintop or doing yoga on a beach, all while listening to this really energizing music.
That sounds way more motivating than my current routine. I can definitely see how game-playing fitness could make it feel less like a chore and more like an adventure.
Yeah, absolutely. And, this principle of dynamic motion can be applied beyond fitness, too. Think about education. Imagine students learning about history by virtually walking through ancient Rome, or exploring the human body by actually moving through its systems.
Right. It's like taking those interactive elements of video games and applying them to real-world learning. Okay, on to pillar number 7, explore augmented identities, beyond self. This one sounds particularly intriguing.
This pillar is all about how immersive technology can help us explore new identities and step outside of ourselves. Imagine being able to step into the shoes of a historical figure, experiencing the world from a completely different perspective, or even trying on different personalities in a virtual world.
So it's like a digital version of trying on different hats.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. And this exploration of identity can be a really powerful tool for personal growth and empathy. Remember that Coca-Cola Zero 007 Skyfall campaign, where people could step into the role of James Bond and complete missions in a virtual world?
Oh yeah, that was huge. I remember everyone wanting to try it.
It was a really clever example of how augmented identities can create these really memorable and engaging experiences. Another great example is the game The Sims 5. You can create and control virtual characters, build their houses, manage their relationships, essentially live out different lives in this digital world.
It's like a safe space to explore different possibilities and try on different versions of yourself. Okay, what about pillar number 8?
Pillar number 8 is all about foster co-creation and socialization. In today's world, connection and collaboration are more important than ever, and immersive technology can play a huge role in fostering those connections.
So it's about moving away from that stereotype of the isolated gamer and creating experiences that are more social and collaborative.
Exactly. And platforms like Roblox are a perfect example of this. It's a virtual world where users can create and play games together, build communities, even create and sell virtual items.
Oh, wow. So it's like gaming, social media, and entrepreneurship all rolled into one. It's incredible how these platforms are empowering people to connect and create together.
Absolutely. And, it's not just about entertainment either. Think about the potential for things like virtual support groups or collaborative learning environments. For example, Yale Medicine has created a VR experience for young cancer patients, giving them this space to connect and share their experiences and find support within a community that understands what they're going through.
That's amazing. What a powerful use of technology to bring people together. Okay, we're getting close to the end here. What's pillar number 9?
Pillar number 9 is maintain clarity, transparent interaction. It's all about designing immersive experiences that are intuitive and easy to understand. The goal is to make the interaction between the user and the digital world as seamless and transparent as possible.
So it's about creating experiences that are user-friendly.
Exactly. A good example is the app Deprify. It lets users see how furniture would look in their own homes using augmented reality. So, it takes the guesswork out of online furniture shopping, creates a more transparent and easy-to-use experience.
That's something I could definitely use. I've always been hesitant to buy furniture online because I can never quite picture how it would look in my space.
Right, and with AR, you can actually see it in your own home before you buy it.
Exactly.
That clarity and transparency lead to greater trust and confidence, whether it's in shopping, education, or healthcare.
Okay, we've reached the final pillar, integrate playful affordances. Play as engagement. I've noticed a theme of playfulness running through all of these pillars. It seems like Dr. Gazet really emphasizes the importance of fun and enjoyment.
He does, and for good reason. Playfulness is incredibly powerful. It can make learning more engaging work more enjoyable, and can even be used as a tool for healing and therapy. This pillar encourages us to think about how we can incorporate elements of play into our immersive experiences.
So it's not just about making the experience informative or functional. It's about making it fun and rewarding.
Exactly, and a great example is Coca-Cola's dancing vending machine campaign in Korea. They basically turned buying a soda into this fun, interactive game.
I've seen videos of that. That's so clever.
It's a perfect example of how playfulness can transform a mundane task into a memorable experience. Another great example is Nintendo Labo, which combines cardboard construction kits with video games. Users build their own controllers and gadgets out of cardboard, and then use them to play games on the Nintendo Switch.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
It's a really brilliant way to encourage creativity, problem-solving, and hands-on learning.
Okay, so we've covered all 10 pillars. My mind is buzzing with all these ideas and possibilities.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in. Dr. Gazet has given us this really comprehensive framework for thinking about immersive experience design.
He has. It's amazing to see how these principles can be applied to so many different areas. Before we wrap up, I'd love to hear your overall thoughts on the significance of these pillars and what they mean for the future of immersive experiences.
It's really incredible to see how these immersive technologies are evolving and impacting different areas of our lives.
It is. And what's so cool to me is how these 10 pillars go beyond just like creating these cool experiences. They really tap into something much deeper, addressing those core human needs and desires.
Right. It's not just about the tech itself. It's about how we can use it to connect with people in a more meaningful way, spark their curiosity, really tap into their need for connection, play, and exploration.
Absolutely. And I think as we move further into this era of immersive technology, these pillars are going to become even more important. They really provide a framework for designing experiences that are not just entertaining, but also educational, therapeutic, and, like you said, potentially even transformative.
Exactly.
And Dr. Gazet really believes that anyone can benefit from understanding these pillars, whether you're a CEO, a teacher, a parent, or just someone who's curious about the future. He's such a strong advocate for that gamer's mindset. And he argues that it can help us all navigate the complexities of this increasingly digital age.
Oh, absolutely. The skills that we develop through gaming, problem solving, strategic thinking, adaptability, resilience, those are all becoming so valuable in every aspect of our lives.
They are. And so, thinking about our listeners, how can they actually apply these principles of immersive experience design to their own lives? What would you say is the main takeaway for them?
That's a great question. I think it starts with awareness. Just by understanding these 10 pillars, you become a more conscious consumer of immersive experiences. You start to ask yourself, is this experience engaging? Does it create that sense of presence? Does it empower me? Does it challenge my perspective?
It's about being more discerning and not just passively consuming whatever digital experiences come our way.
Exactly. And, beyond just being a conscious consumer, you can start to apply these principles to your own work, your relationships, even your hobbies. Like, how can you make your presentations more engaging? How can you create deeper connections with people you care about? How can you bring more playfulness and creativity into your everyday life?
Yeah, it's about really using these principles as a lens to view the world and find new ways to connect, create, and learn.
Exactly. Dr. Gazet urges everyone to level up smart. Game on.
That's a great call to action. Well, we've had such a fascinating conversation today. We explored the world of immersive experiences, delved into Dr. Gazet's 10 pillars of immersive experience design, and learned how the gamer's mindset can really be such a powerful tool in navigating this digital age. So, to our listeners, we leave you with this final question. How can you use the principles of immersive experiences to level up in your world? Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep playing.
Think fast, level up smart. Game on.